Hello, everybody. We are going to talk today about finding your tribe. Now, it's really hard and lonely out there when you are at the head of the team organizational chart. Like, that's a bit of a corporate way of saying, like, the boss. An organizational chart is basically like in a corporate company, they would have like the CEO, and then they have their the people below them, like, and then there's like branch managers and heads of departments, and you can, it's a bit like a pyramid, like a big family tree. You can work your way all the way up through an organizational chart to see, who answers to who and who's responsible for certain tasks and who is kind of on the ground doing all the basic kind of important stuff in terms of delivering products, making things, delivering the basic services. Like, it's all a really well thought through plan. But what happens when you are right at the top of that family tree? What happens when the butt stops with you? Now, I know that most of us don't feel that we are, part of a big corporate organization, probably because most of us aren't. We have our schools. In kind of layman's terms, we're classed as a small business. Small business with big ideas, I'd just like to add. But, sometimes it's just us. And you are all those other roles. You wear all the hats. Sometimes you have a couple of teachers. Some slightly bigger or more established schools may have quite a big team in terms of, the dance studio world. But either way, whether it's just you or whether it's you and 20 others, when it's your business, when you're the owner, you're the decision maker, like, the butt stops with you. And we all know, you and I know, that this can be a pretty lonely place, because although you may have a really supportive team and some great parents, like, the final decisions are down to you. The final yucky stuff that needs dealing with, that only the business owner can deal with, is down to you. And how you lead your school and where you take it and what you manage to create is also probably down to you. And therefore, it can sometimes be challenging, to say the least, but really blinking hard work and difficult when it is just us. And you may have a great partner, you may have great family, great friends, but they don't always fully understand everything that we do they? I mean, I know sometimes they sort of, that they don't have they're not led by the heart like we are. So even some of your family or friends or support network that might be really great in business would probably turn around to you and say, well, cancel that class, don't run this, like, get rid of that student. And we're much more of a heart-led business. Like, it's really difficult for us to make some decisions when we know it affects our students or the parents or the adults that come to our classes. Like, we're such heart-centered people. It's like our passion comes first and our profit comes next. So to be making certain decisions, even with the best will in the world and the family and friends behind us, they don't always see things from our point of view, because they are more logical. They are more, well, that doesn't make sense. Why are you doing that? And so what I think is so important is that you find your tribe. And what I mean is, you find peers that are going to support you, be there for you, be behind you, with you, and in front of you. And they're going to be your people that you can go to. So, for example, you're having a bad day, you've got a few problems, you're dealing with a tricky situation, like, to go to somebody else that knows exactly what you're going through, but even more importantly, they know exactly what you're feeling and how difficult it is to make the right decisions, because they too run a dance school and they too have either been in your shoes or understand what you're going through. Like, that is gold. Like, really is gold to have those people. And then, as well as the hard times, having someone there to celebrate with you when you have those proud moments and when you have those achievements, whether they're great big ones like getting the keys to your first studio, or little tiny ones like little Mary Jane that finally joined in all by herself after 6 weeks of trying to get her to leave mummy's side. You know, the little wins, the middle-sized wins, the big, huge wins. Nobody can really celebrate and understand us like another dance studio owner. And then, of course, you know, having somebody that will hold us accountable, because it's really hard, isn't it, when there's no one telling us on a daily or weekly or monthly basis, well, why haven't you done that? Like, that's what you said you were going to do. That was your intention. That was what you told me on New Year's Day that you were going to achieve this year. Why is it not happening? Like, we don't have that person when we are that person. Like, you know, when we're at the top of that family tree, there's no one to hold us accountable. So if we're having a bit of a rubbish day and our mindset and our motivation isn't that great, like, who picks us up and who tells us to get on with it? Who tells us, Deborah, you need to pull up your big girl's pants and stop faffing about here? Like, do that thing that you don't want to do. We don't have anyone, do we, really? Not really. And so finding your tribe is crucial to your success and the way in which you show up in your business. So how do you find that tribe? Where are all these people? Because surely these people that we need in our lives for the support and the wins and the accountability, surely these people are our competition, right? Like, how do we get close to those people when it's difficult to know if we can trust our competition? Well, this was really my whole, well, I say my whole, it was a very, very large part of what it was that I wanted to create when I created Dance Business Lab. Because, you know, I'm humble enough to know that I am not the whole reason that people are in my membership. Like, I have now going on for over 120 members that are in my memberships. And I say memberships because I have 3 tiers of membership. We all hang out together in one area, but equally we have other spaces for the higher 2 tiers. But the hive, which is what I call this place where we all hang out, I have really purposefully cultivated so that we all feel like we're working towards the same goal. And we all appreciate that the more we help one another, the more other people in turn will help us. And so in our little closed Facebook group, which we call the Hive, you can guarantee that if you go in there regularly and you comment and you like and you support and you congratulate and you share your ideas, that when you need something, when you're saying, hey guys, like, what do you do for this? Like, what do you put in your goodie bags? Or how would you deal with this teacher? Or has anyone got a contract on this? Like, when you put those things in, a whole bunch of people are going to buzz around you and give you their help and their advice and their support and their wisdom. And so the more you do that, the more it comes back. And what it's created is this incredible buzz, excuse the pun, inside the hive of all these amazing queen bees. We don't have one queen bee. Somebody said to me when I first named the hive, oh, Deborah, that means you're the queen bee. I'm like, no, I don't want to be the queen bee. Like, I mean, I don't mind being a queen bee, because a queen bee's job is to mother and nurture those in her hive. But every single person in there is a queen bee, because of course, every single one of my members has their own hive. They have their own bees that they mother and nurture. So we have an awful lot of bees inside the hive in terms of emojis and icons, and well, you can see the hexagons behind me, and you can see, I haven't got them in. I had a pair of hexagon earrings in literally just yesterday. But there was a real purpose behind my branding. I wanted people to feel like they were all connected, interconnected, like the honeycombs, that all come together, because when we all work together, we all help the greater good, which is the dance industry. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? I mean, my passion is helping to bring dance to the world.
Are you looking to get precious time back in your life so you can make more time doing the things you love? DanceBiz is a class management and booking software from the lovely folk at Think Smart that will automate and streamline all your dance school admin. It's the perfect tool for all those tasks that just seem to take so long and will help you to work smarter, not harder. Message me today, folks, and I can give you a code so you can get 2 months free.
It's a big passion, a big vision. And if I can help the business owners that run the schools and the classes and the seminars and the opportunities for people to go to dance and learn, if I can help them be more successful, then of course that helps the greater good, which is the dance industry altogether. And you know what I love about bees? Like the drone bees, they communicate inside their hive through dance. Isn't that amazing? Like if you'd asked me, I would have said maybe it's through the sound they make or the flapping of their wings or something. No, it's the way they dance. They dance, and that's how they communicate to each other. How awesome is that? And I'll tell you another really funny story, actually. When I decided to call my kind of inner circle the hive, and when I went with all the branding of the bees and well, not the bees so much, but the hexagons as my kind of the shapes in my branding, my best friend turned around and said to me, "What a great choice." And I said, "Oh, well, thanks very much." And she said, "No, I mean, what a great choice. Because of our name." My best friend, by the way, is also called Deborah. And I said, "What do you mean because of our name?" And then she suddenly reminded me that my name, believe it or not, Deborah, is Hebrew for Queen Bee. How flipping awesome is that? So maybe I was always born to be a queen bee, to help the students in my school, and now to help the dance studio owners out there. But yeah, this is definitely not about me. This is about helping all of you queen bees in your hives with your students. So I think it's just going back to topic, go back on track, Deborah. It's monumentally important that you find your tribe, that you find your place to hang out with people that will lift you up and really understand you, so that you no longer feel like, you're just somewhere on your own doing your own thing and you just feel so isolated. And so that's what my memberships are for. And, in my memberships, we have trainings. Like I develop high level trainings and I deliver one a month. There's always tasks, there's always actions, there's always things to go away and implement to improve your businesses. And I then also give a Q&A session when people come to the session, and we dive into 4 or 5 different topics and we go into detail, and people make loads of notes and people share ideas, and we go away with so much power from those sessions. But it's not just what I call the deliverables, the things that I give in terms of what people pay for in the membership. It's also about that community. It's about the place, the safe place, the haven, the hive. And, there's a really famous saying that says, people come for the class, but they stay for the community. I love it. I use it all the time. If you hang out with me a lot, you've bound to have heard me say that several times. People come for the class, but they stay for the community. Like people initially come for me, for the things I can offer them, but in the end, they don't stay for me. I know that. They stay because they love the hive. They love the community. They love having that place where they are safe to be vulnerable, to be heard, where they know there's no judgment, where they know there's no competition, where they aren't worried if there's someone from down the road there in the hive, because actually they've become to feel more equal to them. You would be amazed the number of schools that have other schools on my programs fairly close by, and they've actually built really strong relationships since being in the hive, because it's changed the whole mindset mentality from, oh gosh, you're my competition, to, wow, let's work together for the greater good of the dance industry, and let's both improve our businesses for our town, for our city, our county. And so I just think that's amazing. I think it's amazing that they can get past that competition mentality and actually be there just to support each other. So, whether you decide to come and be part of my hive, or whether you research, maybe my hive's not the hive for you and you want to research other places where you can find your tribe, all I would say is, do find a tribe. Do find somewhere where you can go and belong and fit in, because business is so much easier when you have that place. I once spoke to a really, really successful female entrepreneur, and I said to her, if you had one piece of advice for me to be successful in business, what would it be? And she said, I find a room full of people more successful than me, and I hang out with them loads. And I was like, wow, it's really that simple? And she said, of course, because you're never going to learn from people that are on the same level as you. You're only ever really going to grow and learn when you start hanging out with people that know more and that have done more and achieved more than you. That's where you have to position yourself. That's where you have to be, which is always interesting, because when I get some dance school owners that come to me and say, Deborah, I really want to join your Sparks membership or your Ignite membership, but I'm a bit nervous, like I'm a bit scared. Is it full of like really successful dance school owners? And I'm like, no. Like, well, yes. I don't mean no. I mean, well, some are, some aren't. Some are just starting, some are learning, some have been in the business 40 years and they feel like they're starting again when they start learning about the things that I teach. Everyone's at different levels and they're all successful, of course. But what I'm trying to say is, it's not just full of people that are highly dedicated and ambitious and successful. It's full of normal people, very normal dance schools that are struggling, schools that only have a few students, people that are finding business really hard. And, it's a absolute full mix of different people on different journeys. And it really doesn't make any difference whether you started your school this week or 50 years ago. We're all still together on the same journey. And so finding people that are maybe at that level, that next level up from you, is important to your growth. It's important for you to have that as your aspirations. And so finding people that are further ahead than you are and hanging out with them loads is another really powerful element of the reasons people come and join my membership. Having no people at all to hang out with, like, I find that incredibly difficult to comprehend now that I have such a strong network around me and I create such a strong network for the dance world. I can't imagine going back to the me that ran my school all by myself for 24 years. Like, I think back to that point, and although I was happy and I thought I was fine, I certainly wasn't in a place where I was thriving and flourishing. So find your tribe, folks. do some research, look at different dance business coaching programs, look at different price models, have conversations with people, get recommendations from others, and go find your tribe. I'd love you to come and be part of my tribe. There's information in the show notes as to what my memberships are all about, but never feel like you're out there on your own. And if you are out there on your own, then I feel like maybe now is the time to make some changes. All right, everyone. I look forward to speaking to you all again really soon.